Roman Reigns recently explained why he hopes to never want to face Brock Lesnar again, so we'll check out what he had to say. We'll also check out the WWE locker room's reaction to the recent big changes in power, as well as some other fan theories with Triple H now being in power. Let's start things off with Roman Reigns. As usual, Roman Reigns' character is completely surrounded by lots of potential feuds and new directions. There's obviously no one more bigger in WWE right now than Roman Reigns, and you can definitely notice that right away from his aura and everything that they're hinting at and leaving the door open for. Obviously, Roman's main focus is Brock Lesnar. This has been Roman's main feud and rival, dating all the way back to last year's Summerslam event. Brock returned, but Roman was able to fight him off and always found a way to get past him. Now they'll meet for what WWE is labeling as the last time at SummerSlam 2022 in a last man standing match. WWE seems self-aware that they've turned to this match too many times already, and they already know that fans are getting a bit burnt out on this story as well. So that's probably why they started promoting it as the last ever meeting between Roman and Brock, which is a pretty smart move because instead of this match just being another one of their many matches, now everyone is looking at it as this potential grand finale of this 7-year-long story. So promoting it as the final meeting does change the perspective of the match. But the joke amongst the community is that it's hard to believe WWE on if this will actually be the last meeting between Roman and Brock or not. And it looks like even Roman Reigns himself is unsure if this will be the final meeting with Brock Lesnar. Roman recently spoke with the Today Show and explained why he hopes to never face Brock Lesnar again. He had this to say when speaking on that SummerSlam main event. Quote, "I hope it's the last time. It hurts. It's brutal being in the ring with Brock. He's a big old country boy and has such a great, legitimate background. He started as an amateur wrestler all the way through the collegiate ranks, into the UFC heavyweight champion. He's dominated WWE for a long time. The only problem he has is Roman Reigns showed up and took over. It's going to be great." End quote. So Roman is giving a lot of credit and props to Brock Lesnar. He says it's brutal to be in the ring with him, but says that Roman Reigns is obviously still taking over. So chances are that the chapter with Brock will either end or be paused after SummerSlam. But WWE has already teased future storylines for Roman Reigns. One of the storylines being with Theory. The reason why Theory had made it to the top of Raw was because he was basically handpicked by Vince McMahon. Theory being Vince McMahon's favorite was a long-term story that's been going on since November 2021. Theory continued to prove himself to Vince McMahon, and Vince became more and more impressed with him. But with Vince McMahon now being out of WWE, Roman threw that fact in Theory's face, just to humble him down a bit. After Theory once again interrupted the bloodline, Roman dropped that line and reminded him that his daddy, Vince McMahon, isn't here anymore. Theory gets back in the middle of the ring and tries to redeem himself after getting embarrassed by Roman Reigns like that, but he gets interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who also beats him down. After Theory's match was done, he gets attacked by Roman and the bloodline on the stage. Roman placed the Money in the Bank contract on Theory's chest and very sarcastically reminded him on how to properly use it and not to forget it at SummerSlam. The idea of Theory cashing in at SummerSlam in some capacity has been teased since the first week he won the contract, so that will most definitely be paid off at SummerSlam. It could be a cash-in attempt, a failed cash-in, or even a successful cash-in, but we'll most definitely see Theory and his contract come into some play in the final moments of SummerSlam. They wouldn't tease that moment so much not to have Theory show up at SummerSlam, so he will appear during the main event, but what happens next is obviously a mystery. Does he cash in, or does he run back up the ramp at SummerSlam? And of course, Drew McIntyre still appears to be the favorite to earn the #1 contenders match for Clash at the Castle, and he has a lot of unfinished business with Roman Reigns as well. Roman has defeated Drew McIntyre during their last 2 meetings at Survivor Series 2020, and most recently with a 6-man tag match at WrestleMania Backlash. Drew definitely has a score to settle with him as well. So it's amazing how well written the world around Roman Reigns is. He's dealing with Brock Lesnar, but he also has the threat of Theory's cash-in and Drew McIntyre's potential title match just breathing down his neck. So he doesn't really get any rest. If he survives Brock Lesnar, Theory, and Drew McIntyre will be bringing his door down immediately right after. Vince McMahon's sudden retirement has flipped the WWE power upside down and has old names heading out the door and new names stepping into power. The biggest change that we already covered was Triple H now stepping into Vince's former role as head of WWE Creative, which is basically everything that we see on WWE programming. Liv Morgan recently spoke to The Mirror on Vince McMahon's retirement. She said that the locker room was absolutely shocked and stunned. No one saw it coming at all. But Liv did say that everyone is excited for the future and knows that they're all left in good hands with Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and all the new faces that are now in power in WWE. Fans have been excited about the changes because they're wondering if all the change in power will be enough to get some talent that collided with Vince McMahon in the past to come back and return to WWE. The three biggest names that everyone would like to see come back is, of course, Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Bray Wyatt. These are three superstars who all collided with Vince McMahon in different ways, and it didn't end well for them at all. Vince and Bray allegedly collided a lot in regards to creative and the presentation of the Fiend character. After the situation wasn't getting any better, Vince McMahon signed off on the release of Bray Wyatt, a former world champion, top superstar, top merchandise seller, just in the blink of an eye, like nothing. Then, with Sasha Banks and Naomi, they were able to see the writing on the wall. The treatment of the women's tag team titles wasn't changing anytime soon, and wasn't a focus for Vince McMahon. So they left due to feeling so disrespected. So with Vince McMahon and a few of the top friends now out of the WWE, fans wonder if Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, now leading the WWE operation, would convince some of these former big stars to at least consider a return. Maybe Triple H reaches out to them, maybe they reach out to him. But the big question is, will these recent big changes be enough to spark their interest to return to WWE? There was a limit to how much Triple H and Stephanie McMahon could do, mostly due to the fact that Vince McMahon always had final say. No one was saying no to him. But now, he's no longer there to block them. So, full 100% of the power undoubtedly belongs to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And like everyone has been saying, it's not going to be this drastic change overnight, but we'll see a big transition over time. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Roman Reigns and Triple H? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.